straight to the point. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to the Most High, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakwadash. Yahawah is the Most High God, and Yahawashi is to the world, and He calls Jesus Christ. And of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who been willing well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, the Most High increase you in this thing and put that endurance in your spirit. And a mighty shalom for the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth, in and out of congregations, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in your spirit to be believers of this word. And for the wise and the single sisters, shalom. Lord willing, the Most High continue to have in your spirit to be believers in His word and to pursue to be loving and silent and virtuous women. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This lesson is really based off of Luke, the 14th chapter, verse 25 to 33. I'm not about to go crazy with the precepts. The whole point is dealing with the cost of being a disciple or a friend or a follower of Yahawah, what it takes, right? And I'm going to read this in the G&T. Lord willing, y'all read this before. I'm just, you always going over some scriptures you already went over, and sometimes you're like, you know what, can I tackle this in another way? So I'm going to just use the Good News Translation, and Lord willing, this is even more edifying. It says, this is verse 25, Luke 14, verse 25 to 33. It says, once when large crowds of people were going along with Yahawashi, He turned and said unto to them, those who come to me cannot be my disciples unless they love me more than they love father, mother, wife, and children, brothers and sisters, and themselves as well. Those who do not carry their own cross and come after me cannot be my disciples. If one of you is planning to build a tower, you sit down first and figure out what it will cost to see if you have enough money to finish the job. If you don't, you will not be able to finish the tower after laying the foundation, and all who see what happened will make fun of you. You began to build but cannot finish the job. They will say, if a king goes out with 10,000 men to fight another king who comes against him with 20,000 men, he will sit down first and decide if he is strong enough to face that other king. If he isn't, he will send messengers to meet the other king to ask for terms of peace while he was still a long way off. In the same way, concluded Yahawashi, none of you can be my disciples unless you give up everything you have, right? And there's three little points in there. You got the one point where it says, if you want to be my disciple, you can't love your father, your mother, your wife, your children, your brothers, and your sisters, right? And this is talking to men. This is talking to men, right? Because the Lord is dealing with the men, right? He says, those who don't carry their own cross and come after me cannot be myself. If you're not picking up your own cross, your own burden, right? The shit you going through in life, man, you can't follow it. Niggas always want somebody to help them, but when somebody else need help, you don't want to help them. And that's the difference. Yahawashi was helping other people in their lives. And then when he was carrying his cross, out of all those people, one really helped Yahawashi, right? And the Lord wants us to love our brothers. The Lord wants us to help each other with our own burdens that we have, man, right? So make sure you're carrying your own cross, right? And another thing, he was talking about how one of you is planning to build a tower. First, before you build anything, you look at it and see what the cost, right? How much brick I'm going to need, how much wood I'm going to need, how much, the materials for the wall, right? The stove, the freaking countertops, the toilet, the tub, the shower. You got to break down all of those things just to see if you're going to have enough money, right? This whole thing is about observing yourself, right? And it says, if you don't, you will not be able to finish the tower after laying the foundation. And if you hurry up and try to build, have a foundation, and you don't have the funds, niggas is going to laugh at you. half-ass doing things, right? Verse 27 is the point where it says, "Those who do not carry their own cross come after me cannot be my disciple." That is the main point of this thing, right? So you have to be willing to cast things off in order to follow Yahawashi. So let's just go right into it real quick. This is Matthew just giving the little lammy off of the 27. Actually, let's go to Luke first. Luke, this is Luke, the 9th chapter. And we're going to start at, I think, verse 23 to 25. It says, and this goes with the same thing it just said, right? Because in verse 27, it says, "Those who do not carry their own cross come after me cannot be my disciple." Luke chapter 9, verse 23 to 25, it says, "And he said unto them all, if any man will not come after me, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his own cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall be saved." Right? So daily, that means don't just take a break from your day-to-day work, right? Just because shit is getting hard, coming with the Lord is long suffering, right? And it comes with patience. The Lord might be taking long, not just because of you, just one special nigga, right? The Lord is going to take his time, just like we took our time to come follow him. But you have to daily follow the Lord, right? Daily pick up your cross, daily deal with the shit you dealing with, right? And whosoever will save his life. Hey, some brothers might take this another way, but when you trying to prepare yourself for Jacob's trouble and talking about a bug out bag or a gun or a shotgun or a sword, you're thinking too much about saving your life during that time. It is better to let those prophecies come to pass so that you can be seen one of them people willing to die for the name of Yahawashi. It's either the Lord is going to save you out of the hand of your enemies, or you're going to die in the hands of your enemies so you can be those ones that be the first to rise up. And the nations that afflicted you are going to see the strangeness of your salvation. Right? Verse 25, it says, For what is a man advantage if he gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away, right? So if you want to be a friend, a follower, a disciple, Yahawah, Shemashah, a prophet or apostle, you have to put everything aside, right? Excuse my language. Fuck the whole world and whatever it came with, just like how Lil Wayne said, man, right? Whatever it comes with is going to be a headache and a migraine, right? It's going to be things in the world that you desire and that you want, but don't become the world, right? Don't let these things swallow you up whole and that you can't get out, right? Because then it'll swallow you up and put you 5 feet deeper in the situation you already left, right? This is why in order to serve Yahawashi, you got to break all ties from the world, right? Because the world through the spirit is going to know your weakness, right? Your flaws. This is Matthew 10, and I'm going to start at 33. Right? I think I'm going to read to 39. But verse 33, it says, But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father, which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth, but I came not to send peace, but a sword. So he's going to come with destruction, man. Right? So if you're denying Yahawashi, he's going to deny you, and then later on you're going to get slayed. Right now, we should really be professing the name of the Lord. It's not just saying God is real. He's an awesome God, right? You got to be dealing with the judgments, right? The true judgments of the Lord, right? You got to be talking about the captivity. You got to speak on the Lord seeing his children, his women and his men eating their children. You got to talk about us sacrificing our children. A lot of you niggas just want to talk about good. Oh, let's come together, man. Let's talk about the bad, man, right? Let's talk about the bad, and let's always reminisce those things in our mind, because there's going to come a time where the nations it's going to be a spirit upon them, and they're not going to spare no one. They're not going to care about you, your mama, or your grandmother. They're going to ravish your house. They don't care how much money you got, right? So right now, it's the time for us to examine ourselves. right? It says, think not that I come to send peace on the earth, but I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Right? So don't get attached to the people that's around you, your loved ones, your family members, because the Lord orchestrated a way that, guess what? Uh, uh, Daughter's going to be against mother, mother's going to be against daughter, right? It's going to be a battle against the sexes, or battle against father and mother, mother and daughter. It's going to be a battle, right? And this is why we want to make sure we know who we have surrounded. Do you have true friends? Do you have true family around you? Right? It says, for I am Salaki, verse 36, it says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household, right? Your own foes is going to be the people in your own household, your own family, right? It says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy. I know we all love our children. We love the people that's in our life. But especially you men, nobody can be over Yahawashi. To a woman, your husband is the number one thing outside of Yahawashi. That's the number one important thing in your life, is your husband outside of Yahawashi. But for the man, nobody comes before Yahawashi, because that is our head, right? Verse 38, it says, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. And he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. Right? I'm always knowing in my mind I could lose my life. Right? Tomorrow is not promised. Right? You're praying for another chance that Yahweh Shema Shai will give you another chance to examine your life. Right? Well, we're lucky if we make it the next day. Right? You close your eyes, you go to sleep, and you Lord willing, y'all hoping that you wake up, because the Lord can make your ass die in your sleep, right? We got to be thankful that Yahweh Shema Shai still has that little mercy on us, because he can kill you right now. You can be going to sleep right now, and that could be the last time you ever see a damn Cartoon Network, right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13. Actually, do I want to? Nah, I'm gonna read it right here. I'm gonna read that in the GNT. Yeah, that sound just about right. Let's see, verse 5. So this is 2 Corinthians 13, verse 5 in the GNT. It said, put yourselves to the test and judge yourselves. In the KJV, it says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. I'm gonna say it again. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. GNT, put yourselves to the test and judge yourselves to find out whether you are living in faith, right? Every day you should always test yourself by the littlest and greatest thing, right? Hey, you might be like, man, it ain't nothing to do at home. Oh man, I want to go do something fun. You know what you need to go do fun? Go test yourself. See if you really do have faith, right? Surely you know that Hamashiach Yahawashi is in you, unless you have completely failed. I trust you will know that we are not failures. We pray to the Most High that you will do no wrong, not in order to show that we are a success, but so that you may do what is right, even though we may seem to be failures, right? Hey, I might look like a failure to y'all. Hey, I am nobody. Just because the Lord is allowing me to teach or to grow with some knowledge, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, I damn sure can do it. You as a sister, you can actually become an actual woman that the Lord actually adores. A man, you can actually become a man that the Lord has seen, right? Right? You don't have to be a teacher if you don't, if it's not in you. It's other abilities. But if you have the mouth to actually speak, you should be using that mouthpiece and go give edification to your brothers and sisters, right? Make sure that they rooted in this thing, right? That's real love when you try to make sure your brothers and sisters is rooted into Yahawashi. And before I try to stab them and tell them they not doing this and doing this, you know what? Let me examine myself and put myself to the test. Anything that I'm teaching or trying to tell brothers to go harder on or do better, I went through it, right? And there's no way that if somebody is going through what you went through or something that you didn't go through and they trying to edify, I believe that none of us should be seeming like we're better than another person. This is not a competition to be better than somebody else. This is a competition about you being fucking better than the old man, the old woman. You know who you was 2 years, a year ago, 5 years, 10 years ago. Be better than that. Stop trying to be better than that elder and that apostle. Let him figure out his own situation. But if he messing up in certain areas of teaching, may correct that brother. But this is not a race on who's better. This is a race on doing better, being better for Yahawah Shemashai, and putting everything else on the back burner. Right? Let's go to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 3:12. And it reads, it says, yeah, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahawashi shall suffer persecution. So if you're living in Yahawah Shemashai, you're going to live in persecution. Accept persecution, right? That's what comes with it, man. You got to think how crazy you sound saying you believing in a man that's in the sky. You sound crazy, brother. And guess what? I'm going to give you a high five because I'm crazy with you. I'm rocking with it. Right? This is Matthew, the 13th chapter, and I'm going to start at verse 20. 21 is really the point, but 20 is just going, elevate it. It says, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet have he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Yo, a lot of people are going to fall out of this when shit start to get tough. Tribulation, persecution. Food is about to rise up, right? The dollar is about to change, right? That charagma going to come. Niggas been teaching it, or the charagma is spiritual. Then they see that drink is physical. I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to change, right? Even before the Lord was already changing brothers, sifting them out of this truth, right? Probably sifting them out for a moment, or probably sifting them out all entirely, or sifting them out to give them, put them in another understanding, right? Another bug out understanding, right? And brothers do get offended when they come in this thing. Verse 22, it says, he also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word. In the care of this world, in the deceitfulness of riches, choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful, right? Hey, a lot of y'all gonna get choked up and y'all gonna become unfruitful. You're not gonna even, man, I can't find a lesson. It's like, yo, you could do a lesson off of one verse. One verse. This thing was inspired by Luke, the 14th chapter, verse 25 to 33, right? You could be inspired by a brother can be bringing it already and it can inspire you, right? It could be a bug out and he could be bringing out a scripture so wrong and it can motivate you like, you know what? Let me do a lesson on this, right? The scriptures is always flowing, right? And it's only for the ones that's into it, right? You could be actually messing up. And guess what? Just words of encouragement can come through the scriptures, right? This is another one I'm gonna read in the G&T, but first I'm gonna read it in the KJV for y'all. It's Acts 14, verse 21 and 22. So that's what it reads in the KJV. It says, and when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples and encouraging them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. Right? And if you go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter, I believe, it tells you desire wisdom becomes a kingdom, right? Acts 14, and I'm going to read verse 22 because that's the point. It says, they strengthened the believers and encouraged them to remain true to the faith. We must pass through many troubles to enter the kingdom of God, they taught, right? So you have to know in order to get to that kingdom, you must go through troubles. How niggas gonna say, I wanna live, I wanna have when Yahawashi come, I wanna be in 100% peace. Shoot, I wanna be in 100% peace too. But let's make it make sense, right? When Yahawashi come, I want saving. How if I'm looking like peace? How what would I need saving from? I want him to see our enemies in action. I want him to see when my family have to flee and go here, right? Because then my flesh is gonna get too comfortable and feel like, you know what, we good, you know. And those things should have you scared. You ain't getting hit, but you see everybody else in the city getting hit, and you over here just sitting here. Now it's different when the Lord blessing you with food and all of that. But I'm saying like you living a peaceful life. You're a little Wayne or a Drake and your feet is kicked up, right? Because of the abundance of your wealth in this kingdom can protect you from all of that. I don't want that, right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 11 to 12. In the GNT, it says, the Most High has appointed me as an apostle and teacher to proclaim the good news. And it is for this reason that I suffer these things. But I am still full of confidence because I know whom I have trusted. And I am sure that he is able to keep safe until that day what he has entrusted to me, right? And what does the Lord entrusted his men to do? To go out to the highways and byways, right? Right? You're going to suffer going out to these highways and byways, right? Even more because your own brothers and sisters is going to think you bugged out. And then you have to speak to the wind, right? And then when the prophecies actually be fulfilled, they're going to actually sit back and feel like they're the crazy ones. Matthew 22, verse 8, it says, then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which are bidding were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways and byways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when we keep on reading down, you got to know their garment, right? Like the brother Bashar and the apostle and the elders always bring out, that garment is that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? It's a new you. When you have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding Bahasham Yahawashi, you are a new creature in this judgment, right? Let me get this other one too, since it's in my temple, right? Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, in verse 16, right? It says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, in the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there, right? We're in a place of judgment. And we got to be just like Jonah, crying to Yahawashi to let us out of the belly of the fish, right? Right? Or the belly of a whore, right? Jonah chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. Then Jonah prayed unto Yahawashi his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto Yahawashi, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice, right? And this is what we have to do. We have to cry out to Yahawashi. Are you willing to die for the Lord, right? Are you willing to lose your life for Yahawashi? Are you willing to look crazy for Yahawashi? Are you willing to, you know what? Nobody want to listen to you, right? Are you willing to go speak to the wind, right? Are you willing to buck up against this government and say, man, what the hell with your MOTB ski? What the hell with your RFID chip? What the hell with your super implant, right? You can keep it and shove it up your Derry McNary, right? Revelations 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahawashi and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with a Mashiach Yahawashi 1,000 years, right? And when we go to the 14th chapter, you understand that anybody that take this mark is going to get the fire and brimstone. But it's going to be some people that get beheaded for not taking it, man, because we didn't submit to the system of this beast, right? And this is what it is about being a follower or a disciple, man. Being willing to die for your power, being willing to die for your God. People be like, "Oh, you serve a God that wants you to die for him. You serve a God that will put you in captivity." Well, he's just and true. Nigga, you serving a power. You're a servant. Like, what the hell do you think you're going to receive good and bad from the Most High, nigga? Like, niggas really just think the Most High, Yahawashi, is a damn Harry Potter, right? This is Job chapter 2, and I'm going to go to verse 9, right? It says, then said his wife unto him, let me give you the whole account, verse 7. It says, so went Satan forth from the presence of Yahawashi and smote Job with sore boils from the soles of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips, right? Every day you got to know you're going to receive good and bad by Yahawashi, right? What is it? 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter, verse 6, man. The Lord killeth and he maketh alive, right? Everything is in the hands of the Lord, right? But you have to really show the Lord in your heart that you want to serve him, because the Lord is searching the heart, right? And the Lord is going to give you try every reins and give every man according to his doings. So, nigga, what is you doing, right? What is you doing? Is you building your house on a solid foundation, or is you just constantly opening your mouth with shabba dabba ding dong? You constantly just trying to do a video for views and likes, or is you constantly trying to teach the word so another person can add to your collection plate, right? Like, what is your ministry based on? Is your ministry based on, let me bag every girl that I can get? Let me steal other women from other men so that she can feel more loved over here. Like, the mission is not about just one nigga. It's damn sure ain't about me. It's about us. Nigga, spell it right. US. It's about us, right? And the real sheep of Yahawashi, the real shepherds of Yahawashi, is laying themselves down for the nation and not for themselves. They're not just laying down themselves for their own congregation. They're laying it down for the elect that is going to get scarcely saved from their enemies, man. Right? Let's go to what we always bring out in the Luke, the 1st chapter. Right? Luke chapter 1. In verse 71, it says that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he will grant unto us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. That we, not just me, we, ain't no I and no mother sucking team, right? So put your spiritual sword in your hand and go fight for your nation, man, right? Niggas that want to be a one-teamer, man, you could stay the hell away from me. You think this show is only about you. You feel like you got 150 damn precepts, but your ass don't want to do no damn video. Stay the hell away from me, right? You got to decide if you're going to be a friend, a disciple for Yahawashi. Are you a worker? If you're not trying to be a worker of Yahawashi, you don't deserve to fucking eat, man. Right? This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17. And take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, right? In order to be that disciple or that friend or that shepherd, you need your sword. How you gonna lead the sheep if you don't got your damn sword? How you gonna protect the sheep if you don't even know how to wield your sword? I'm not the best. You know what I'm saying? I can move my sword a few ways. I still got more technique to get in there, man. Right? Right? The humble is gonna seek to be more humble. The ones that wanna be consistent, they're gonna seek to be more consistent. Right? This is a job that you don't never get off. You're always trying to sharpen yourself. You always want to sharpen yourself. Hold on. You always want to sharpen yourself. If you can't sharpen yourself, you're going to lose yourself. Right? And you don't want to lose yourself. Right? Let me get another one, right? Because brothers got to be more continuous in the ministry of Yahawashi, right? Because yeah, this thing, right here. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7. It says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase. The Most High is the one that gives the increase, right? We seen in John chapter 3, verse 30, where he says, he must increase and I must decrease, right? You got to decrease. And while you decreasing the Most High is going to increase you. The same way he did Yahawashi in Luke, the 2nd chapter, right? He was hearing the questions and he was answering questions. He was asking questions and answering questions, right? At the age of 12 years old, and the Lord help him grew in stature, favoring the Most High and favoring men, right? You want to grow in Yahawashi so that you'll be able to fight the fiery darts of the enemy, man. You got to think your enemy wants you to fall off, right? What is it? Dang, this is it. This is it too, but this is not the one I wanted, but we'll get it though. It said this is 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? The Lord chose us to be a soldier, right? So you shouldn't be entangling yourself in the fears of your life. That's why you got to choose Yahawashi and nobody else. Everybody else is going to be surrounding you. Everybody's going to still be there, but always put Yahawashi first. Always got to put Yahawashi first, right? Because you don't want to never quench the spirit. Without the Lord, you ain't going to have that fire to be in the spirit, man. Rejoice evermore. Always giving thanks to Yahawashi, man, right? I want to get something else. I want to get something crispy. What do I want crispy? Let me get something, and then we gonna close. We gonna close him out. I'm getting too excited. Let me see. Right, yep, let's get it. This is Psalms 37, verse 38, and we're going to close out with these 3 verses. It said, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together, and the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of Yahawashi. He is their strength in the time of trouble. Yahawashi shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him, right? And the true believers, the true friends, the true disciples, daily, those are going to be the ones that get saved. Those get saved scarcely. You niggas is going to know it death by pain, right? So that's why you always want to examine and work on yourself. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, 5 and 7, right? Examine yourself, man, and test yourself. See if you have the faith, right? Because we're always fighting the battle of faith, man. Let me get that. Right? This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. Man, profess Bahasham, profess is good news, right? Profess the bad that the Lord is going to do, right? Profess the woe is they, right? But we have to fight that good fight of faith, man. This thing is continuous, man, because the Lord is always creating a false teacher out here, right? He's already building false teachers out here so that they can have their portfolio, right? Because the Lord didn't make a unholy or an uneven balance. The balance is so good you can't even take one off and it go like this. The Lord weighed it out so smoothly that it's enough to go around. Yeah, you got some stupid delinquents, you got some Yah Jews, you got some Jesus Christs, you got some OT onlys, you got some New Testament only, you got some Christian Shabbat Ding Dongs, you got some individualites, you got some Ikes, you got some Tinas. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Hebrew Israelites. You got this and this and that, and this and this and that, right? We're on an ongoing battle, and niggas need to put their armor on, and y'all need to pick up your spiritual sword, man, right? Because it's a lot of our brothers and sisters is about to have itchy ears for different teachers. They're going to walk away from what they were already learning because evil men and seducers are going to wax worse. And it's like evil always look for more wickedness to do, right? Wickedness is a sport to evildoers, right? Let me see if I can find that one. I know it's in Proverbs. Um, uh, Mischief is a sport to the wicked. I think that is Proverbs. For some reason, it's saying Proverbs 10. It's saying Proverbs 10. So I'm going to bring that out and then I'm going to let y'all go. This is Proverbs chapter 10. Let's see. Yep, I got to highlight it. Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 23. It says, "It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom," right? And you can line that up with Sirach 27, verse 13, right? So, mischief is a sport to a fool, man. And this is how you know. If you know somebody that always want to be a freaking clown, I was a freaking class clown in my day of school, right? And if I would know who I was now, I wouldn't share with me who I was in the world because I wanted to be a class clown. Mischief was cool, right? And I was a fool, right? And that's just because we have a lot of brothers and sisters in our nation that wasn't trained in the way that they need to go. But a lot of our brothers and sisters are trained up in the way somebody else wanted them to go. And we don't even notice. Like, if your mother and father wasn't teaching you the word, guess what? They're raising you up the way they want you to go. And they don't even know it. We won't even know. Like, I'm just trying to raise them, feed them, and put clothes on them. But I'm getting this money. I'm gonna show them how I'm getting money. I'm gonna show them how I dog girls. But I'm in your life, or I'm gonna be your stepdaddy, or I'm not gonna want to be in your life. Those things become repetitive, and then we start to become those things. That's why the Lord said we don't wrestle between flesh or blood, but against principalities in high places. That's why those spirits cleave to those things, and we get programmed outside of TV. Your program when you see hoochies, strippers, hoochies, thotties, hoochies, ice, what is it called? Ice Spice, freaking Megan Thee Stallion. You continually see these women. Your daughter's gonna, oh, I want to be a stripper. I want to do this and I want to do that. It's because it's getting repetitive. Like, you're constantly seeing it. It's constantly being seen, right? And this is why we're walking in the footsteps of our forefathers. You know, we just want to do what we want. We want to be free. And then when the government look like we are free, but we're not, this is how you know the Lord is closing a lot of people's eyes. Because back then, a lot of us, we observed the times. We knew whoever was on our money was the oppressor, right? We're being taxed. We're being oppressed. right? When it's government rules and regulations that don't that's not um, complementing the laws of the children of Israel, who the world who it pertains to. This shows you that the world don't love you, because if the world love you, it would tell you who you is, and it would let you do your routine and do it in peace, right? So this is why the whole lesson was all about the cost of being a disciple, the cost of being a friend, right? And what we have to do is, even for myself and for y'all, get detached from things that's in this world, because if you lose it, it get broken down, it would be hard for you to let it go, and it will overwhelm you so much that you won't even think about Yahawashi. Like I tell my brothers and the ladies in my household, whenever you go through something, talk to the Lord first. Don't come to me first. Don't go to another sister. Call on Yahawashi, get in these scriptures. Hey, do a lesson and bring it out in the lesson. Hey, yo, kids, this and this and that. Hey, I got to do it. Sometimes you have to examine your own self, what we just read in Second Timothy, right? And I'm going to read it again in the G&T just to make it plain for y'all, right? Sometimes you got to cut your own self, make your own self feel even stupid, right? 2 Timothy 13, verse 5, it says, put yourself to the test and judge yourselves to find out whether you are living in faith. Surely you know that a Mashiach Yahawashi is in you, unless you have completely failed, right? So you have to examine yourself, right? Test your emotions, test your feelings, right? Test your anger, right? Test your temptation. Like your weakness can be being around a weed smoke, or freaking crack or heroin, cocaine or meth or ecstasy, right? Those, not saying get around a whole bunch of drugs or anything, but if you're really in this thing, you can find out a way to test yourself, let alone outside of testing yourself. Look at little things or medium things or great things that you do and judge your own self. No, you need to do better. Never feel good enough, right? At the end of the day, if the Lord is allowing you to have a child in your womb, you are a filthy fucking rag for the Lord to even allow anything brand new to be in you, right? You got to think, why would the Lord allow you to have another child, let alone as a man for you to pregnate another woman? You got to think, regardless if it's a boy or a girl, well, how is the Lord allowing you to be used right now, right? And if the Lord is allowing you to even have a child, that's a blessing. But how do you deserve it? Right? Let alone if you have true friends that would get on your butt. Hey, nah, you got to do better. You got to do better. Why would the Lord give you this? Because before in the world, people would try to give you crack. People try to give you heroin. People try to take you to the club and have your ass shaking. Brothers would take you to the club, and then, you know what? Her dude doing her wrong. How about we just, fuck that girl anyways? Her dude doing her wrong. Outside this ministry, you'll have things motivating you away from the Lord, right? So now that we in this truth, every day judge yourself, test yourself. Oh, that's not good enough. Oh, you was lazy. You didn't read good enough. Hey, you didn't do this. You're not taking this. Every day you always want to judge yourself. Day of Atonement, go harder for yourself. Passover, go harder for yourself, because it's all about winning the approval of Yahweh Shemashai. You want to feel worthy in the eyes of the Lord, not worthy of man, worthy in the eyes of Yahweh Shemashai. As a woman playing her role as a wife, you're really making yourself presentable towards Yahweh Shemashai through your husband. However you present yourself to your husband as a woman, the Lord is going to look at you. You're going to be, this man can be the straight dipshit, and you still playing your role as a wife and being a woman. The Lord might make your burden light. I don't know what, he might take that nigga out, right? He might bring him into faith, or he might bring all havoc in this world, and then your husband might calm down, or whatever the heck it is, right? Or the Lord might give you a righteous man, and you feel like you're there, but you're not good enough because you see him growing. Guess what? You're just going to judge yourself, and you want to go harder, because if you have a righteous man in your life, the Lord gave that to you. And there's no way you can be complaining about something else he said or something he doing. If he's following the Lord and he accept your children, half of y'all women are not with the man y'all had kids with. But if you are with a man that that accept your kids and not giving you bullshit about your kids, the Lord gave you not a gift, he gave you a prize. And there's no way you should fumble the bag by arguing, trying to be a worldly woman to come up with some bullshit. Your steps should always be easy for your husband. Work on just being that chef that he want. Or work on making yourself look good for him. So when he feel like he want to get a little frisky, you looking good, you looking appeasing, right? Make sure you smelling good. Make sure your house is smelling good. Make sure you taking care of other things that, guess what? Your husband don't have to stress, argue, or be upset about. That's you doing your job and you playing your role. You have a prize in your house. Every day, examine yourself. I'm a husband. I have to examine, look, this is the most I ever seen myself caring for people, or knowing that I need them, knowing that, I got to provide and do these things. The Lord put me in a situation to give me more responsibility and to show you actually can have love, and outside of family, I have my own family who I love dearly. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, guess what? I will put all of them aside for Yahawashi. And I'm doing this every day to the best of my ability. But my household, no, I love them. I love them. But nobody's coming before the Lord. I'm going to get my peace. I'm going to be quiet. Let the women do what they do. Let the kids do it. But me, I'm going to do what I'm going to do for the Lord, because I want my family to get in the kingdom. Nobody in their family or in their life strive to get them in the kingdom. So I have to find out what's the cost of being a disciple for Yahawashi or a friend. That means lay yourself down for the ministry. Lay it down. I'm just going to say it like Paul in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 1, and Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. I am a prisoner for Hamashiach Yahawah's sake, right? You have to be a prisoner for the Lord to do what he wants you to do, man, right? Make the old you upset. Make the spirits that be the principalities and high places be upset with you, right? And guess what? I'm going to take accountability. I fucked up. I didn't do good enough years ago. I didn't do good enough centuries ago, decades ago, and I didn't do good yesterday, weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. But now he got me in 2023, about to make it to 2024, Lord willing. I got to go harder. Let's see in 30 days, did I double up, right? This is about when you really want to be a disciple, a friend, a prophet, an apostle, you want to level up. You want to see that you're doing better than the old man. You want to see that instead of walking, you're running to that kingdom, right? Let me get this other one, because I said that was my last one. Let me just get this other one real quick, right? And I already quoted it earlier, but I had to bring it out again. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, 17, verse 17. It says, "For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love." So all of us should desire discipline, right? Because we're in this weak ass vessel, right? We want to walk and live in the spirit. So always try to feel like you're devouring or hearing the word or teaching the word, so it can be an ongoing flow, right? It's an energy that comes with teaching Yahawashi. Dropping down to the last verse. I mean, not really the last verse, but the 20th verse. It says, "Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to the kingdom," right? And I really just wanted to bring that because a lot of us, if you say you want the kingdom, desire wisdom. The more you desire wisdom, the more you show the Lord you want the kingdom. Not saying that you're going to get it, but why not desire the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Yahawashi, where you can be filled, right? Be filled, right? It's never enough. You can get half, never enough. You get a quarter, it's never enough. You can get the whole thing, still never enough until Yahawashi crack that sky. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. And if it wasn't, Salaki, we'll just try again. It's your brother Dagabar. And with that, we'll say, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Ashai Bashim Kakodash. Yahweh being the most high God. And Yahweh Shai is the world, and he calls Jesus Christ. With that, Shalom.